Hey everyone, this is Jay from Music Microscope, and we're here today to talk about popular music and find out what makes them so damn catchy. So while we talk about these songs, we listen and analyze, and we talk about 7 key points: the melody, harmony, lyrics, form, dynamics, tempo, and production. Make sure you stick around to the very end of each video because I take the 7 key points and the factors and I create a brand new song that I make myself from scratch using the same elements within the song that we're covering. Please feel free to like this video and subscribe if you want to see more. So please like and subscribe. This is also back here. Aha! Didn't see that coming, did you? So the song that we're doing today is Circles by Post Malone. Bam. Bam. Circles. 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 So first, a little background information. This song itself, when I last saw it, was number 3 on the Billboard 100. The song is super catchy, super popular, and we're gonna find out why. That's why we're here to talk about it. Write your comments below. I'm gonna read them all, and I'm gonna respond to every single one of them. So I wanna hear your thoughts. Tell me what you think. First, we're gonna talk about the songwriters. The very first songwriter we have is Austin Richard Post. You guessed it, obviously. Post Malone. Second, you have Adam Feeney, who also goes by the name of Frank Dukes. He's a Canadian record producer and DJ. Many of his samples have been used in hip hop and pop under people like Taylor Swift, Lorde, Camila Cabello, Future, Young Thug, Kanye West, and obviously Post Malone. Third, we have Billy Walsh. Billy Walsh co-wrote Sunflower, Better Now, Wow. Those songs I just mentioned are kind of like the top of his like most iconic and most memorable stuff. And honestly, I'm a fan. It's addicting. And the songs are they're just good. They're really just good. Fourth, we have Kaan Gunesberk. I don't know if I said it right. I am sorry, Kaan, or Kaan. It's gotta be Kaan. Sorry, Kaan. He is a Toronto-based indie songwriter and instrumentalist. And last but not least, we have Louis Bell. Louis Bell is a really popular American producer, songwriter, and engineer. Billboard actually called Bell's impact on the top charts historic and labeled him pop's most prolific, accomplished, and untethered freelancer of 2019. If that isn't a phrase, I don't know what is. As you can see, there are 5 different songwriters. It seems to be standard when you have pop songs. You have a team of people that get together, they're writing music to try to make multiple hits. So they're just writing. Hopefully you get a hit that is super popular, everybody loves, and then they know your name. And then you get on other hits and you keep writing with other teams. So that's usually how it works. I'm not a part of any writing team, so maybe I shouldn't speak on it, but to my knowledge, out of my friends who are and friends who aren't, I think that's how it goes. And out of the producers that we have on this track is Post Malone, Frank Dukes, and Louis Bell. So those 3 are the ones who produced the track. Circles was released through Republic Records on August 30th, 2019 as the 3rd single from Malone's 3rd album, Hollywood's Bleeding. Billboard described this song as being backed by sunny acoustic guitars, swirling percussion, and infectious melodies. It has a funky feel, but the meaning is a bit more somber, detailing a relationship gone cold. AKA, the song, in my opinion, I think it sounds like a summer cruising song. Like you're in a car, just cruising with the windows down, wind blowing. For those of you who don't have cars, maybe you're cruising on a bus with the windows down, sun out, wind blowing. If you haven't ridden a bus, then you're cruising in a subway with the windows down and the sun out and the wind blowing. You know what? If you haven't even cruised in a subway, you're cruising on a bike with the windows down, sun out, and wind blowing. And yes, bikes have windows. Look it up. They don't. Anyway, moving on, let's get started. So first, we're gonna talk about the melody. The start of the song starts really somber, really smooth. The guitar comes in with a little bit of an effect on it, but it's pretty much an EQ effect that's on the guitar. The song continues, and Post Malone comes in. He just hums a little bit to the ba 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 da. Then his first melody comes in, da 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 da. Till we were upside down. What he sings is too high for me. And the song I recorded is really high too. You know what? It's fine. This is what sucks about being in a world of tenors. Every pop singer is a damn tenor, and I'm not a tenor. I'm like a baritone bass. Everything I sing is really high, and if I do it all in my head voice or falsetto, it's difficult. Granted, if you don't know what that is, don't worry about it. This is a rant. Moving on. So, the melody at the very beginning, we couldn't turn around till we were upside down. That right there, you know, it's going up and then coming down. Goes again, I'll be the bad guy now. Goes back up, then back down. But no, I ain't too proud. Then he like, you know, picks it up just a little bit to keep it interesting. I couldn't be there. Obviously I did that down because I'm not singing that high right now. Even when I try, you don't believe it. We do this every time. And then you get into the actual chorus of the song. If you remember, a chorus is supposed to be memorable, something that's easy to sing, and kind of like the biggest point of the song. Usually that's what a chorus is. I don't want to say that is what a chorus is, but usually that's what it is. Seasons change and our love went cold. Feed the flame, cause we can't let go. Run away, but we're running in circles. Run away, run away. I dare you to go. And that's pretty much all that really happens with the melody. The melody kind of keeps keeps your interest by keeping that shape, the upward, downward motion, upward, downward, and then getting up really high on the chorus. And that's kind of what you want to do. You want to keep your song growing and kind of like almost stretching and breathing, like some sort of accordion or animal. I don't know what I'm talking about. Moving on, we get to harmony. This song is interesting because there is not a lot of harmony. So if you get to the chorus of this song, you notice you'll hear in the background harmonies. And it's probably like 2 harmonies that he has harmonizing with his lead vocal. That's the only time you'll hear the harmonies. And again, the reason why you're putting harmonies on the chorus is because the chorus is the big part of the song. So you want to add more elements and add more things to the song without like cranking up the volume. You're just adding more to bring you a bigger wall of sound and make your like feel it. Just make you feel the song. Feel the seasons change. Lyrics. The song is called Circles. So everything should be kind of around circles. The idea of circles. First verse, we couldn't turn around. Oh, guess what circles do? They just like keep going. You know, you can't turn around. You just keep going forward, but you keep spinning. Till we were upside down. I mean, I guess the circle could be upside down. Wait, is that? Oh, snap. That's interesting. Let's see. A circle goes this way. And if you flip it upside down, it goes the opposite direction. Actually, I just blew my own mind. I literally just blew my own mind. Maybe that's what that line means. That's kind of crazy. If that's what that means, I give these songwriters mad props because that's creative. Anyway, we couldn't turn around till we were upside down. I'll be the bad guy now, but no, I ain't too proud. I couldn't be there even when I try. You don't believe it. We do this every time. So here we go again with the whole thing. So then when you get to the chorus, that's where you have seasons change and our love went cold. Obviously seasons are a cyclical thing. Run away and we're running in circles. Run away, run away. I don't know if the runaway was intentionally repeated to emphasize kind of like the repetitious nature of circles or just repeating. If so, good job. If not, good job. So then you get to the second verse. What's interesting is it has that same idea of repetition and things that repeat and keep going. Let go. I got a feeling that it's time to let go. Repeating. I say so. I knew that this was doomed from the get-go. I mean, go's coming back, but I think it's just a repetition thing to keep it rhyming. You thought that it was special, repeated, but it was just the sex though. Sex though. Yeah, just the sex though. Just in case you guys were curious, it was just the sex though. Which again, repeated. And I still hear the echoes, repetition, echoes, circles, repetition. I get a feeling that it's time to let go, repetition. So I don't know if this is intentionally what they wanted to do, but from what I can see, there is a lot of repetition going on, a lot of things that point to the idea of circles and constantly, you know, keeping that motion of circles going, circles, 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 circles. So the form of this song is simple. We have a verse, a chorus, a verse, a chorus, a bridge, and a chorus. Another way to see that, sometimes you can say A, B, C, B. So the A's would be the verses, B would be the choruses, and C would be the bridge. So A, B, C, B. And notice in those forms how many times the chorus comes in, which is B. That comes in 3 times. And that's because, again, choruses are what you want your audience to remember. It's what you want them to get stuck into their head. It's what you want them singing down the street, singing in the shower, singing on the toilet, singing in the kitchen, singing while you're driving, singing while you're giving birth, singing everywhere. Choruses. or hooks. They call them choruses, hooks, whatever. The tempo of this song affects this song because tempo gives you a certain type of feeling. If a song's really slow and has like a walking tempo, which they also sometimes call andante, which is 80 beats per minute, you don't need to know this. That gives you that like walking feel of just like slowly taking steps. Songs may give you that feeling by putting it in that tempo. If you're really frantic or you need to really feel something or you're trying to get somewhere, then those are songs that have higher tempos usually. This song falls kind of mid-range. It is sort of high tempo, which kind of gives you that like nice like just driving, cruising feel because the song just keeps pushing through, keeps going. But if this song was maybe half that speed, it would probably be like a love song and it would give you a completely different feeling. So that's what shows the importance of tempos and how fast, how slow you pick a tempo. This tempo is just right in that sweet spot. It still has that kind of cruise feel as if you're just going through the motions, which maybe could be their idea, and that may have been their plan from the get-go, but the get-go. Ha! See what I did there? If you didn't, go back because you're not paying attention. Second to last, we have dynamics. So dynamics and production, which are the last 2 points, I'm going to put together, and usually I do because production itself sometimes affects dynamics. Dynamics, again, you usually would have loud and soft. Those are dynamics. But at the same time, adding instruments to add more sound and more volume to music, I also think is another form of dynamics. Just understand that for this purpose, dynamics and production I put together. So the intro of the song has the guitar solo by itself, kind of just strumming along. And then about 15 or 16 seconds in, the beat drops and it like gives you that grooving feeling. Dynamically there, you have adding the kick and the kind of the bass, whatever the bass is as well. And that gets the song driving, but that like adds a little bit of excitement to it, which I'm going to again equate with dynamics. So when you get to the verse, things drop out a little bit, which bring down the dynamics of the song. And you have the vocals, kick, a little bit of like a synth in the background, and the bass kind of just doing the groove. So it's just that, so you can focus on the lyrics and hear what he's saying. With the chorus, by the time you get to the chorus, everything sort of comes in. So you have the harmonies, hi-hats, and the drums. And if you listen to that, what does it sound like? It sounds like it's louder. It sounds like it's bigger. It sounds like you have more volume coming towards you. Even though your volume on your knob is still the same, it's bigger. And that's why we tie in production and dynamics, because the producers are the ones deciding, let's add this instrument, let's take this out, let's add this in here, let's do a lead up to this. Something else I want to point out, a lot of Post Malone's music, if you listen to his vocals, they always have that reverb, that huge added reverb, and reverb is just space. So that added space, when he says something, it sounds like he's in a huge hall or a huge chamber. He does that a lot with his music, and that gives it kind of like this air. And with that, usually I always grade these songs. I give it a music microscope grade. I'm going to have to give an A. I give it an A. At first I didn't like him, but you know what? That was me just being a judgy douche. Don't be a judgy douche like this guy. Don't do that. A rule I say you should do is you should always hit the like button. Aha.
Watch me drown like you were trying. 6 feet underground. We were good till you hid all your secrets. Closed the door, left me standing and reaching for a hand. I can tell you don't need